Oh hi, I didn't see you there. I'm Philbert D, and I just walked out of the cinema an hour ago. These reviews are gonna be fresh. This is Phil on Films. This week we're talking about Eerie, Maria, and Dumbo. The film takes place in 1995. Bea Alonzo is Pat, a guidance counselor at Santa Lucia, a private Catholic academy for girls. When a murder is committed on the grounds, Pat begins to dig into the school's past, which happens to involve a troubled student's grisly suicide. Pat encounters the various souls that haunt the halls, and becomes convinced there's more to everything than meets the eye. Fundamentally, horror movies work by putting the protagonist in danger. This becomes the main issue of Eerie, which has a main character that encounters all manner of strangeness, but is never under any real direct threat from them. For long stretches, the biggest threat to her seems to be administrative sanction from the nuns that run the school. And even then, it doesn't really impede her in any real way, nor does it raise the tension to a point where it becomes imperative that you get to the bottom of things.
Ano nangyari kay Erica?
May namatay dito ng gabi niyo. Kung manggugulo ka lang habang ang iba ay nagluluksa, bibigyan kita ng muling pagkakataon. Magdasal ka, Patricia, para matahimik ang konsensya mo.
It all feels a little distant. The film has style to spare, but it struggles to connect emotionally. And there are big issues, dramatic issues at play in the story. A lot of this has to do with how little we get to know the characters. The film gets so busy unraveling its mystery that it forgets to form relationships that might matter later on. So as a horror movie, it isn't very scary. It has some intriguing themes that question the morality of punishment as a whole, but those don't feel fully formed. You end up leaving the theater with questions that just aren't going to be answered. And there are some cases where that's a good thing. This isn't one of those cases. 2 stars.
Oh, pauwi na kami. Uwi ka ng maaga, ha?
Christine Reyes plays the title character, a former assassin now living a relatively peaceful life with a husband and a young daughter.
Sino siya?
An old associate from Black Rose. The mission is simple. You find them, you bring them to me.
The criminal organization she used to work for thinks she's dead, but she's spotted out in public one day, and the life that she's built is upended.
Kailangan natin umalis. Hindi sila kasali dito.
Maria returns to her killing ways, exacting revenge on everyone involved in hurting the people that she loves. The action scenes are the main attraction. They're technically well done. The fight choreography is credible, the performances are committed, the direction is solid, and the editing within these scenes is coherent. You can see the seams here and there, but what's achieved here is genuinely impressive. But there's very little holding these sequences together. It sometimes feels like scenes aren't connecting, the story really struggling to find a rhythm. Part of the problem is that it keeps cutting away to the villains, playing out a deeply uninteresting subplot involving sibling rivalry that does little to progress the plot. Meanwhile, Maria doesn't seem to be under any imminent danger, and she doesn't seem to be in any hurry to enact her revenge. Christine Reyes is okay in this role, but it doesn't feel like the film is really capitalizing on her strongest qualities. I mean, you have her playing a killer, and in previous roles, she's been able to convey a certain intensity, or just, you know, having crazy eyes, I guess. And that would have helped really sell some of the intensity of this movie.
Isa ka lang pusang paanakan.
If you start thinking about it, it all falls apart. You start to question the logic of even the most basic elements of these sequences, and it becomes difficult to enjoy. There's plenty of talent and skill evident in the mounting of the production, but without the connective tissue of plot and theme, it just feels like senseless violence. 2 stars.
Patay na si Lily. Ako si Maria.
Welcome, baby Dumbo. We're all family here, no matter how small.
Dumbo reframes the classic story through the eyes of children Millie and Joe Ferrier, played by Nico Parker and Finley Hobbins. Their father Holt returns from World War I missing an arm, and he's tasked with tending to an elephant for the circus. That elephant gives birth to a baby with unusually large ears.
What is that?
At first, the baby is ridiculed, but it turns out those large ears give him a very special ability. The conflict of this movie kicks off with the arrival of an excessively rich entertainment mogul, played by Michael Keaton, who has gathered acts from all around the world and put them under one tent, making them conform to a singular idea of mainstream entertainment. He has built a theme park called Dreamland, which features rides, attractions, and animatronic exhibits. In short, he's the Disney Corporation, which is an interesting choice. Not that it's subversive or anything, because it does generally conform to a singular formulaic vision of what mainstream entertainment is supposed to be. It feels calculated, but not overly so. It's generally just fine. It gets interesting around the edges, thanks mostly to the outsized personalities filling up the screen. Got Danny DeVito, Ava Green, Alan Arkin, and especially Michael Keaton, lending the film a certain weirdness that recalls the Tim Burton of old. So as a whole, it's just okay. It's okay in the way that all of these Disney remakes have been. They're generally inoffensive bits of art that live more nostalgia than any of their own merit. 3 stars.
Fly, Dumbo. Fly.
Thanks for joining us. This is the part of the video where I tell you to like and subscribe and leave a comment and do other internet things that are relevant to your interests. And until next time, goodbye internet, vote for Chel Jokno.